oftentimes makes quicksand, believe me. And this back to the tree theory. How many trees are in that desert over
not
there?
Not many. So you eliminate that. And then you would never have enough slaves to pull it.
Well, here's the other thing. Mathematically, it would have took, I forget how many millions of slaves, but to build that in the time frame that was supposedly built, they would have to put a block in place every minute. So that means you had to cut, remove, and carry, travel across whatever, and precisely lift and move and put this block in place every minute for 20 years. It doesn't compute.
It's impossible. Okay, let alone build it up and everything else. Everything we figured out how to make small little pyramids, by the way they figured the Egyptians did it, but they could not make anything big. We don't have the technology or the intelligence, let alone cut the stones precise that they fit into each other. Now, come on. We already know. Okay, we already know that this has not been done by humans. Okay, maybe human slaves, but it wasn't done by humans. Okay? Go ahead. Go ahead.
And another factor people don't realize, there's a lot of shafts. Like, they've got a shaft that runs all the way through that thing that goes at an angle all the way up that pyramid and looks at certain star systems. You know how hard it is to mathematically put these blocks in place to keep that shaft going through an angle through multiple tons of rocks? That is just mind-blowing.
They didn't have the equipment to do it. They didn't have the intelligence, the technology, or the ability to do it. Now, don't forget, some people said the Great Pyramid, it was nothing more than a water pump to water the whole area. I come on. I'm going to tell you this. You can blacklist me, whatever you want. And I've said this so many times on the show. Man has had to believe in God of some sort to survive. If you took the God away from him, you would have no reason to live. If something bad was happening, you would have nothing to fall back on. Okay? So people have always worshipped the fire god or God of this or God Almighty or what have you. God, to me, probably is not the God that we all really think about. I think when you really think about it, somebody made these landing marks and runways in Ethiopia. In all around the parts of the world, you'll see, if you're up in satellite and look down, you see ancient, like runways. Now, there's no way we had, at that time frame, the capability of doing anything like that. Impossible. Not miles long. Hey, let alone hundreds of feet. So I think that why would the Incas, the Mayas, and all these worship gold? Oh, gold is like the number one thing, and silver. Okay? Why has it been that so gold is precious? Well, I can tell you. In electronics, of any form of electronics, gold is the best for conducting, current, electricity, followed by silver. In fact, there's a silver shortage. I mean, there's not enough silver right now to handle electronics. I mean, they recycle it. It's getting rare, just like gold is. I think what happened at one point of our Earth, and I think we've been rebooted, like I've said numerous times, James.
Yep.
I think we were visited for one reason. We had gold, we had silver, we had other minerals on this planet which were very cherished for another civilization that maybe ran out of it and had to keep looking for it on other planets. That's why the Incas, the Mayas and stuff were hoarding gold themselves and thought it was precious. They would, otherwise, why wouldn't they have, something like pewter? I mean, or something else. I mean, why would they think gold is precious? Something had to instill that into them. I think our God, that we believe in God, maybe originated from another planet. Maybe they were our overseers. It came down here and created the pyramids. It maybe took our civilization and speeded it up a little bit, changed the DNA a little bit, manipulated us a little bit. And maybe that's what they're still doing now. But there's an agenda here. Well, something is going on. And why I'm saying this, I keep in my mind, in my little warped little teeny brain, okay, why in the fuck?
Oh.
I'm not on the radio right now. I'm on the internet, James. Okay. You never hear me say that if we're on radio stations. Remember we signed off on the top of the hour.
My virgin ears just got a little...
Okay, why in the hell would we need a space force? For what? What would we need it for if there's no such thing as aliens? If there's no such thing as life from out there? Okay, we wouldn't need a space force. Our Air Force would be able to do the same thing, right? Why would we have to create a new force to protect us against what?
Well, the thing is, I don't know how much protection they can do against something that can abduct you from any time, anywhere they want, and you can't do anything. So how are we going to defend against that? And if they do know how to defend against something like that, they need to share the knowledge, because a lot of people would like to know it.
Well, I'm starting to think that everybody in Congress and Senate are been replaced by humanoid DNA constructed replacements. And the only one they haven't dared touch was Trump.
So if they get us all marching on this machine to go into this big meat grinder, we know that that's not good.
I don't know. I just think maybe because my birthday, by the way, is January 8th, is coming up. But I'm at the age where I'm not going to see what's going on. I'm worried about my grandkids because so many bad things are happening and they're not giving a shit. What is going on? Again, we're not on the radio right now. We're off. I can say that. I can use the word crapola all I want. Now, I can say this because I'm fed up. Okay? Why would all the water companies like Coca-Cola and all these other ones be coming in my state of Washington and buying every water right they can get? They know in the future, in the next 10, 15 years from now, water is going to be worth more than gold.
Yes, water is definitely going to be the currency of the future. And I've said this many times, you can just, I'm about statistics and data and facts a lot of the time. And if you just go back 40-some years, we were 3.5 billion people. Today we're over 7. You go to 20 years in the future, we're probably going to be close to 15, 12 billion people. That's a lot of consumption. That's a lot of waste. That's a lot of disease. It's a lot of just recipe for disaster. I mean, really, think about it.
Well, maybe, yeah, it is. But here's something else while you were saying that popped in my mind. You ever think that these cattle mutilations, human mutilations, and all this abductions and implants are not because they really care about mutilating animals or humans, or even putting implants in people anymore, or abducting people anymore? Maybe it is nothing more than a fear that they can spread fear among us. Think about that. And then if they step it up with more UFO sightings of letting themselves be seen, more mutilations stepping up, and everything else is going on, it's maybe a scare tactic.
Well, if here's the thing, if it's a scare tactic, then that means they know about our emotions and they know what is right and wrong, what they shouldn't be doing, and then that means they're really nefarious then.
They don't care.
Right.
We already know that if they have been abducting people and not returning them, right? They sit there and take John Helen and his family and they're gone. Okay, they just vanished. I mean, come on, they don't care.
No, and then I've seen people out there, well, they got empathy. That's why they try to scrub your brain before they return you. I got news for you. They're not doing that because they got empathy for you after they get done probing you and taking you against your will. They're not scrubbing your brain because they got empathy because they don't want you to have bad memories. They're doing that to cover their tracks. I mean, hello.
And then they're putting probably false memories in these people that when they scrub their brain, who knows what they're putting back into their brain. So these people come back, right? And they don't really remember much of their abduction for a while. But you ever think that again, I've stressed this before. The Soviet Union had lots of spies in our country and in Canada and in Europe, okay? All the NATO countries, right? And they were like time bombs. They were what do you call it? Scrubbed. Candidates. Their brains were scrubbed. So they thought if they thought they were born in Chicago, they thought they were born in Chicago, but they weren't born in Chicago. They were born somewhere in the Soviet bloc. But they went through spy school. They learned how to talk American, think American, from a baby age, pretty much, all the way up. But they had one motive in their mind. They were brainwashed. They were scrubbed. That a key word would trigger it off, where they would take this little suitcase bomb or something, or do whatever they were instructed to do. They were trained to do, which they had no memory of, to do it. And you know what? They're still out there, some of them. They might be in their 70s right now and 80s, but they're still out there. We never got them all.
God forbid somebody pranks them in a Russian accent one day, and it's one of the trigger words or the buzzwords, and then next thing you know, they're out doing something they shouldn't be doing.
Yeah. Well, just think about it. These aliens could be doing the same thing. And so what? Maybe a big population will die off, and then a new... they just continue doing it for when the time is right. They have a certain amount of the population that they can control, which then will control us. Think about that.
That's how you control population. You get it down to low figures, and then you take control, and you can control them better. You can control. It's easier to control 1 million people than 7 billion.
Oh yeah, but even like I'm saying that some of these people that maybe they've been abducting for the last 20, 30, 40 years have already died. It's no big deal because they're still refreshing with new people and continuing the cycle. So when they're ready, okay, when the time is just right, they can strike and do what they want. I don't know. None of this makes any logical sense. I'm sure there's people out there that really, really know what is going on and would never tell us, because I think society, if we knew...
Oh, we go crazy.
Yeah, I think it would be worse than Watts. Really worse.
Yeah, because people have the attitude, we've got nothing to lose. So what are you going to do? We're already facing doom, so heck with it.
Yeah. I'm just wondering how many people politically even might not be the people we even know anymore. Who knows what's going... I just look at everything that's been going on. It's gotten really wacky.
Yeah, listen, you hit that one on the head. There's a lot of wacky stuff going on out there that makes you scratch your head like, what's up with that?
Well, something is going on. I mean, I never seen the political situation in my whole going on 68 years ever being so screwed up as it is right now. And they don't care, okay? Nobody cares what you think James Kirschbaum thinks, or Gary Anderson thinks, or whoever thinks. They don't care what we think. They don't give a crap.
Nope. They sure don't. If you don't think their way, then that's even worse.
We don't even know what their way is.
I know.
That is the craziest thing in the world. Has our society really gone in a shitter that bad?
Yeah, one with a python in it waiting on you.
Yeah, ready to bite your balls off.
I had a thought about that too. the pythons are so big they could wrap, and toilets go down and around.